Hey everybody, how you doing? This is going to be in the Hall of the Mountain King. I'm going to kind of go over, this is guitar 4, and I'm going to go over where the parts are. And I know that you've already probably read through them, but this is just a reminder to really follow the fingerings and know where everything is. So guitar 4, essentially is in first position. It does move around just a little bit, but not too much. And one thing that you want to take into consideration here is all these markings telling you for pizzicato or sul tasto. Pizzicato, of course, if you remember, is that you have to touch the string with your flesh and then play with your thumb against the note. It's essentially a muted string, right? And pizzicato is played with the thumb. I know some people will do they'll do a thumb work and then have their fingers playing at the same time, but still, it's in classical guitar when we do a part, even if it's high up, like when you do this, that's all done with your thumb. Okay, so pizzicato, flesh on the string, playing with your thumb, so it's a mute. Sul tasto means over the table, and they're talking about the fingerboard, really. And that means when they want you to play sul tasto, they want you to play it's kind of a quiet sound. That's why you usually see pianissimo, 2 P's. And and so it has that quiet quality of sound because you're actually literally plucking it over the table here. Over the tasto, okay? So those are the kind of things that you're going to see. You're going to see some tambura too. Tambur is when you have a chord, like I've got the E minor chord like you're going to have at the end, but you hit against all the strings and very close to the bridge. Now, one thing that I was a little concerned about was that there's 8 notes here, and we're going, so at 120, that's pretty fast. So sometimes you can go, that can get you some of the effect, but depends on tempo. Most of the time, a tambura is hitting against the strings with your thumb, so that drum sound, but you also hear the sound of the chords. Okay, so I'll be playing it slow enough where you can kind of feel that, and then we'll have to figure out, with when Sean's doing the direction, what particular type of tambura that you're gonna have to do. Okay, that's the typical one. So starting on page 1. We start off, just with the first note, B, and so you're literally playing in second position here because the B is on the 2nd fret, but with the 1st finger, because you're going to be doing pizzicato, and then you're going to be playing G, another 5th, G, D, G, D. So that's why you're in that position. So it starts off just one note, and it is a standard note, so there's a fermata, so you got to hold it as long as the director says, and then the pizzicato, which is going to be pianissimo. I'm going really slow, and so, and you'll notice there's dots, staccato. Okay, and then once it gets to the G and the D. Okay, same positioning, and staccato. Then when you have the melody at 14, not pizzicato, but sul tasto. Now you're in first position here because you have to play the D sharp over here. All the fingerings are very, very good. Play everything with your thumb. Okay. And then after that, you get 4 measures of rest. You're going back into that pizzicato. You are going to eventually have a chord. This time, when he starts you off with the pizzicato and the B, you're using the second finger instead because you're staying in this position. So, and then when you play the scale coming down, actually you're going to go all the way up to the octave. Okay, and all in E minor. Then at 34, you have the melody pizzicato, again with the thumb. And what you're going to do is you're going to play in second position. So it's B open, but the C sharp is going to be with your first finger. Now you're going to see some accents too. The accents are those markers that you see over the F sharp, the G natural, and the F sharp again. So it sounds like this. Every time you see that, you're going to do an accent. Okay? Pizzicato, as you notice. Then it's going to be back to those bass notes, really easy bass notes. You're going to basically stay in second position with the B so that you can get to the G with your second finger. And that's all the same. I'm going to play the whole thing for you, but I'm just kind of guiding you through the piece parts that are similar. You don't need to know every measure because you can read what's there. Now let's see here on the second page, measure 46, you're still doing... This is going to be octaves, and then a scale coming down with a crescendo. Crescendo, and then it says fortissimo with the bass note E, and it says ordinary, O-R-D-N, standard playing note pizzicato. And then you have a chord. And when you see that wavy line, it needs to be strummed. Be strummed with a finger, or you can play thumb and then thumb again too. It doesn't specify here. What I'd like you to do is listen to what your director tells you what to do. Or okay. So, and that's all E minor. And then all of a sudden it goes to a G chord. And the G chord's going to be, and he's got the G with the D in there too, the high D. So it's second finger G, first finger on B, open fourth, open third, but then third finger on another D, and then the fourth finger on the high G. So sometimes we call that we're adding that extra fifth there instead of having the third in there, which is typical for G chord. So we have okay. And the same thing's going to happen. That comes along, okay? So there's that fingering there. Then you play that melody again. Oops, I forgot the accent. Okay, and then, is there anything? Oh yeah, then it does change here at 62. Then we have G sharp and D sharp. So a little bit of a change of the melody. Then back to those chords. And then to the G chord. then tamburo. And then when it says ordinary, of course. All those techniques you want to know ahead of time. Okay, so now I'm going to actually play it with the metronome. Excuse me. Whole thing from the beginning. Play along. You can practice. Here's the first note as a fermata. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's held indefinitely. Once I start, I'm going to be in tempo. These are quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2. Sul, tasto. Rests. 1, 2, 4. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. Back to pizzicato. Scale coming down. 1, rest, 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 G's, rest, 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 to the G's. And then pizzicato. Then rest and G and B. To the minor. And piano. Crescendo. 2 ordinary. The G chord, melody, back to the chords. 2. E4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And my guess is that it's still tambura, although I'm not seeing that indication here. Because normally then it would be something like this. And then forte is 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have to find out when you actually do the real performance. But if you practice it that way, you're going to have all the fingerings. So I hope that this is going to be helpful to you. All right? Okay.